Wes is. Where you at, Wes?
Yeah, I heard from Wes, and he kind of forgot about it, and then I'm like, well, Travis, if you want to wait about an hour, Travis will show up, and Wes like, well, I can't make it then.
Well,
I'm
but
like,
still.
ah. And Corey, this is like past his bedtime, so
Yeah, it happens when you get old like that. Just, slow down and take a lot of naps, that kind of thing. I understand.
yeah. Well, he is the oldest out of all of us, so
Yeah, yeah. Lots of
yeah,
us aren't letting that show. I just want to point out that we are keeping the youth alive, and I
that's right.
continue to plan on that for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, because I'm not done buying toys
Well, there's that.
or comic books or
We are
whatever.
living the dream, man. We're living the dream.
That's right. I just need a big AT-AT in my backyard, and
I know some
life will be
guys.
complete.
I know a couple guys. We might be able to work on that for you.
Yeah. Uh, well, we missed a big holiday this past weekend.
Did we?
Yeah. I
What
was
holiday?
all set to have a podcast on Saturday, and it didn't happen. It would have been perfect because Saturday was Batman Day.
Oh my God! And you realize that was followed up shortly thereafter by Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, that was what, yesterday?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I heard
like
that one on the radio, and I kind of forgot about it after that.
we actually had eye patches and stuff supplied at work, but just wasn't in the mood.
Oh, jeez. Sounds like you guys have fun there.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's a little crazy this time of year, a little nuts, but that's the way it goes. You got to prepare for holidays and make sure everybody has an opportunity to go out and buy themselves some gift cards. So, if you like gift cards, giving or receiving, please go out and buy your gift card today. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Me, I guess I just win mine because I ended up winning another radio contest just a couple of days ago.
But okay,
I,
we're gonna start off by congratulations and what did you win?
well, I mean, it wasn't much. For being caller number 5 on Minnesota 97.5, I ended up winning a $10 Arch card from McDonald's.
Excellent, way to go! I
Yeah.
applaud your efforts. Now the real question is, were you also callers 1 through 4?
No, I was
Oh
not.
wow.
It just took that long because I was calling from my car, and I'm like, I've got a Ford, so I've got sync, and by the time the call actually went through and everything, it was ringing. I'm like, oh, this is a good sign. And then yeah, I hear the DJ on the other end, and I'm like, I've won.
That's
So,
awesome.
but yeah, it was only to McDonald's, but
Hey, a win's a win. I don't know about anybody else, but I will agree. I don't care what it is. If you win, you've won. There you go.
yeah. What I need to do is win the contest that they do during every Vikings game on the radio. Because
Okay
then
for
it's
that.
like, it used to be where you win, um, I think it was like five $30 gift certificates to different places within the Rochester area. So, like, when I first started winning, it was like, holy crap, like $150 worth of gift cards and such.
Wow.
And I think now they've dropped it down to like, is it three? It's either three or four. But I did win last year,
Okay.
and actually some of those, couple of those cards, I don't think I've used yet.
Yeah, and my friends in the retail stores appreciate that.
Yeah, I think one's to a local pizza place in Rochester, but
You might want to cash that in. Football season, pizza's a good idea.
yeah, I thought should really get together with the Marlers and take them out for pizza and stuff. But
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
yeah,
In fact, if you do this, Chris, Tina, I'm going to have Todd FaceTime me so I can participate via phone.
there we go. We talked about doing that with Shelby because she's off at college now.
Hmm.
It's like, she's the main talker during supper time. So Rachel's like, we're gonna set up like a tablet or one of the laptops and stick it at your spot in the table, and you can just talk to us while we eat. We haven't done it yet, but
If you really want to go all out, you get her one of those remote devices like Sheldon had on The Big Bang Theory, so she can drive around the home and participate
oh
during
geez,
dinner.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's taking it too far.
No, I think that's taking it just far enough.
Yeah, maybe. um, well, I suppose like most people have heard about my little accident that I had.
But let's tell them anyways, Todd.
Okay, well, um, should we do the shortened version or the long version?
We're gonna do the short version, Todd.
um, yeah, I wiped out on some gravel on a curve.
And what were you on?
That
when you
is the
swipe out a
short
curve?
version.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about what you're on. Were you on your bicycle?
No, this was a motorized scooter.
A motorized scooter.
This is basically a motorcycle, except it's a scooter because it's automatic transmission. It's not manual with clutch and all that crap.
Right.
Otherwise, I
So
wouldn't have gotten it.
kind of like what's his name from Big Bang Theory? Little guy.
Oh,
Drawing a blank, guys. Oh my
oh,
god, I feel bad.
Wallowitz.
Wallowitz.
We both said it at the same time. Uh,
Yeah. So
no,
so a scooter
well,
like Wallowitz.
no, mine's more powerful. I mean,
Well,
it's a
obviously, I mean, you went and gunned it on the side of the road, and you know,
well, it's a 400 cc, so I'm doing highway speeds, and then I come to this curve, and I mean, yeah, they were asking me in the emergency department. It's like, well, how fast were you going? I'm like, "Psh, I wasn't even looking at the speedometer at that point.
of
I'm
course
like,
not.
I don't know, maybe 40, 45.
Hmm.
Because yeah, I had three options of what to do because well, the reason I had to move over from because I was in the left-hand side of my lane as I was making this curve, and then it starts going uphill at that point.
Right.
Um, yeah, there was a oncoming truck with a trailer behind it, pickup truck, and he was kind of hugging the center line, which is why I kind of moved over to begin with. So if that truck wouldn't have even been there, none of this would have happened.
This
Because I would have missed the
true.
gravel altogether. But
True. But
anyways,
unfortunately, the truck was there, and Todd
yeah.
went around it.
So I had three options. One was to try to take the curve anyways and hope that I didn't wipe out. Two, I could have just rode it down into the ditch because it was all open field, like part of someone's lawn, like extended lawn. However, it was, as I said, that's where you start going up the hill. So the bottom of the ditch over to the lawn was like a 45-degree angle and about 10 to 15 feet down. So I probably would have launched.
That might have also ended badly.
Yeah, that probably would have been worse. Or scenario number three, go into the ditch, but try to brake before I actually go down. Well, that's what I tried, and being I was braking on gravel, that didn't help too much, and I ended up tipping right there. And then, yeah, the bike still went down into the ditch, and I kind of slid along the shoulder of the road on gravel.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, so most of my wounds are healing up pretty good. Um, I got a cast on my right hand yet because there was a broken bone in there.
Ooh.
And got road rash on the other arm and just a little bit on my right knee, and that's about it. So I I guess I fared pretty well, but yeah, this cast on this arm is really bugging me. Enough where I might go in tomorrow and say, take this thing off and replace it with something else.
Well, if you got access to a handsaw, I mean, we can take care of that here real quick.
Yeah, I don't trust myself with a handsaw.
Wait, you still have one child in the house, right?
um, well, Sean's back too,
All right then.
but neither one of them do I trust with a saw in this.
For shame. Well, Todd, I know I can speak for everyone when we wish you a speedy recovery, and I hope your rash heals up.
That didn't sound good. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, it's kind of annoying too. Where I did get the road rash, I'm getting like water blisters on where the road rash is.
Right.
They they pop up, they go away. They pop up, they go away. It's like, stay going away.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yep, my friend has been Mr. Needle and popping those and draining them, and
I'm betting everybody loves this part of the story.
oh sure. Hey, at least it's just like watery substance. It's not like something else.
True. This is true.
So it's not that gross.
No, no, it is. It's so gross.
Well, kind of, but yeah. Um, Otherwise, what has Travis been up to this past, I guess, 2 months?
Travis enjoys work. Work is wonderful. We all enjoy work. La 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 la. But then other than that, done a few things with the 501st. Most recently, it was last weekend. We had a convention down in Nashville, the ICCC convention, which it's first year they did this convention. First year putting it together. So little new, little raw, one day. But we went down. We had our display that we had presented at Celebration last year, and that was a pretty big hit. Being it's a new convention, your crowd is probably not as big as you'd hope, but it was still pretty good. They had some really neat guests on there. William Shatner was actually a guest.
Oh wow!
And he lives in the area, and they managed to bring him in, so that was actually kind of neat. Although anytime he was on break, security would like lock down the elevators and stuff like that because you can't mess with Mr. Shatner. It's his show.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting in itself. They had a few Star Wars guests there as well, so we got to meet a few of them, and I think the best one we had is we actually got to meet Corey D. Williams, which is Billy D. Williams' son.
Oh.
And we come to find out is that Corey played Klaatu on Return of the Jedi. but he also
Ah.
stood in and did some double work for Billy. Um, so when you like the faraway shots where you see him hanging over the skiff um, during the fight with Jabba, that's actually Billy's son Corey doing that.
Hmm.
He has some great stories about how that happens, and I will say from the way I understood the stories that they kind of just made things explode and said good luck. Um, but great guys. He was nice enough to introduce us to some other folks there. Julius Lafleur was during the speeder bike um, chases. He was the one who went like tumbling over a log in
Mm-hmm.
the crash scene. So Julius was there. They came over, participated in our displays, and sat and talked with us for 20 minutes, just hanging out and chatting. So wonderful folks. The rest of the Star Wars group they had there, they had the guys from Kenner that originally designed the toys.
Oh, cool.
Again, great guys. And folks got to sit and just chat with them, talk about whatever came to mind. Would be, hey, I remember the toys when I was little, and they were talking about how they came up with some of the ideas and what brought them into being. Um, so that was a great experience. And then, of course, we had the 501st groups there. They did a wonderful job again, just suiting up and making people happy. It was a good time.
Awesome. Hmm. Well, we had Nerdin' Out Con just last week. Oh no, it's about 2 weeks ago now. Um, that was in Rochester. Also a first year con, and they had. I thought they were saying somewhere around like 2,500 people.
Okay.
So I mean, it was a pretty decent turnout actually, and they ended up, um, actually making some money on the con. So being a first year thing, I think that's a positive step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think for a lot of first years, breaking even is that positive step.
Right, right. And yeah, because we had heard that, Corey and myself, we had heard that with advanced ticket sales, they had already broke even. And
Great.
then new tickets that they sold at the door, pushed them over. So,
Hmm.
and they seem to have sold quite a bit at the door too. So
Even better.
awesome for them.
Well, that's what I
Um,
like. For years you had the big conventions, which is all your the Wizard World Comic Cons and whatnot, and they spend all that time just trying to push out all the smaller ones. So that's where you get the big conventions where you'd have the stars who are going to charge you $300 for a photo op.
yeah,
That kind of ridiculous pricing. Whereas you get to the smaller ones, you still get to meet some wonderful actors and some wonderful other crew members or designers, writers, authors, whatever it might be that you get to
wrestlers.
meet, wrestlers, and even like this ICCC, their focus was actually on the collectible side, the
Mm,
toys and whatnot.
yeah,
And I will say this, they brought in some folks who had some really neat, Star Wars stuff. I saw an original AT-AT Walker in its box in a plexiglass case.
ooh,
It was a four-digit price tag on that thing.
oh yeah,
So you see a lot of stuff like that you just you don't normally see at these other conventions, and it was just, I mean, it was cool to see them. It was cool to. There was one booth, and I went through that, and I remember. I mean, I even told the guys like, I've had every single toy that's on this your display when I was younger, and fortunately they're all gone from my collection now. I said, but just the fact that it brings back those memories
yeah.
is amazing.
So what happened to your collection?
Most of my collection went to my younger cousin, and
Ah,
unfortunately, they Probably don't exist after that. So it's unfortunate. I mean, he followed the Mark Hamill rule of open your toys and play with them.
Yeah.
So
Well, I did too.
yeah.
However, except for one item, all of my stuff was pretty much pristine when I got rid of it. Sold in that fateful garage sale in the late 80s.
Oh, Todd,
Or
Todd.
mid 80s. Mid 80s.
Hmm.
But, yeah, my X Wing, um, yeah, it had a crash landing one time.
Oh no.
And those wings are really fragile on those. So, yeah, one of the wings busted off, so we had to go into cruise mode for the rest of the playing um, time on those. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's just, you know, I remember going to the Mall of America for one of the first times, and I can't remember if you were there or not, but they used to have the Starlog store there,
Okay.
and walking in there and seeing one of the original Kenner TIE fighters out of its box, hanging up above the cash register, and it looks like it had been like thoroughly played with. Like,
Hmm.
stickers on the wings weren't all that great anymore and stuff like that. And a price tag of $200. I'm like,
Oofta.
son of a bitch. I'm like, right then and there, I'm like, I need to track down my old toys.
Hmm.
And yeah, that didn't go over.
No, no,
So,
it never does.
nah. But yeah, getting back to actual convention stuff. For this con, they had a few big names. I don't know if you remember Jake the Snake,
Yep.
wrestler. He was there. We had Sean Gunn,
Oh wow.
um, which is James Gunn's brother, of course. And also Ming Chen from Comic Book Man. And Ming's the one that I really wanted to see because I watch Comic Book Man and I listen to the podcasts and I notice him in the movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's like awesome. And then being I'm walking around with this huge cast on my arm, I can't tell you the number of times that people that were working booths would stop and ask me, "Oh, what happened? What'd you do?" So I'd have to tell them and go through it. And yeah, when I got my picture taken with Ming, yeah, of course he had to ask. So I talked with him a little bit there, and then afterwards, right before Corey and I left, I stopped by his booth again and gave him a business card for Flaming Death Productions,
Uh
and
huh.
I'm like, oh, I was gonna give this to you before, and kind of forgot about it because I was kind of handing them out to a few people,
Right.
and so I talked with him a little bit more then, and
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
totally nice guy.
he is, and we got to meet him 2 years ago at what was then called the Derby City Comic Con, and they had him and one of the other guys from the TV show were
Yeah,
there.
probably
Yeah,
Mike Zapsik.
and he came over, and when we were slow, and I think maybe before the actual doors open, and checking out our. And this was before I had all our display stuff, but checking us out, make sure to say hi, and greeting us, and went around and met all the other neighboring tables and whatnot. So sometimes when you get someone who's got I don't want to say they have huge celebrity power, but they have some.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're not as friendly, and are a little bit more reserved and just in their zone. But he was out there and talking with people, and it was actually fun interacting with him.
Yeah, from what I've heard from well, Brian Johnson one of them on the Tell 'em Steve Day podcast. Ming's like uh, just kind of whores himself out there. He's a real people person. He goes all out. But that's a good thing, though.
Well, it is. I mean, it like I said, it for those guys, sometimes they need that public boost because that's part of selling their product and their show and whatnot, and to see them go out and interact and just be a person,
Yeah. Yeah.
not be the celeb that's too good to sit and have a chat with you, but to go out and just be a person and actually show interest in what other folks are doing is great.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. When I got my picture taken with him, like midway through, it was just for the picture itself, that I paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw him later on, right before leaving, Corey had said something about autographing my picture, and I'm like, well, Ming right away, he's like, oh yeah, I could do that, and I knew there was a charge for autographs,
Right.
and I'm like, I just spent like the last dollar I had. So I'm like, I don't have enough for that. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I'm not like that. And he goes and signs it anyways. And like, that was really cool. And then, yeah underneath his name, I've got it posted on Facebook. I'll probably post a link to it in the link to the podcast here, or podcast links. But underneath he wrote something in Chinese, which
it's translated.
Well, I think Corey had asked him, "Oh, that's your name under there?" And he's like, "No, it's fuck Brian Johnson." I'm like, "Oh, that's funny," but I think it was his name, but maybe someone who knows otherwise can tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's his name.
Send me a picture of it. I got somebody who might be able to translate.
Well, it's posted there out on my Facebook page, so.
All right.
But yeah, I spent all this money on, basically, there was 2 comic book dealers that I spent my money at, besides getting the photo picture of myself and Ming. Yeah, I picked up like old Star Trek Next Generation comics, and a couple of Doctor Who comics I was missing, which I should have looked at my list a little bit better because I was missing a 3rd Doctor Who comic, and I'm like, crap.
And you forgot to get it, didn't you?
Well, I didn't realize I was missing it until I was cataloging my other ones, and it's like, oh, wait a second, I'm missing number 11.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah. And then, as I'm filing some of these away, so I'm filing away my Star Trek Next Generation comics, and I'm going through, and it's like, okay, 30, 31, 32, 40, 41, 40, 45, I have 2 of them. How did that happen?
Wow.
And it didn't happen this last time. I must have picked it up at some other con and not realized I already had the thing. I'm like, this is the 2nd time this has happened to me. I'm like, what the hell? So.
Yeah. Might want to organize that a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed it, honestly. But, I mean, it might have been the one time where I had to hurry up because Peter Capaldi was beginning his Q&A. It's like, hurry up, get your comics, let's go. So I'm guessing that's what one of them came from. But yeah, this con, I was really impressed with their first year. And they've already announced one for next year, so August 10th and 11th. And they're talking about getting bigger names, and they had the owner of the Nerdin' Out shop or store online. He's the one that kind of organizes the whole con as well.
Right.
But he was saying that you want to get, well, if you get like middle of the road names, say like maybe Michael Rooker or something like that. You're paying like 30, 40,000 to get them in.
Right.
And with the names that they did get, you're paying maybe half that. And they had 8 people there, 8 different people that were there as celebrities, and I think the number that they had and who they chose, they really worked out well for them.
Right.
So I'm kind of interested to see, if they do get bigger names. Well, they're talking about maybe shortening it down to 6 people from 8. But yeah, who they can get. I'm wondering about that. But again, they kind of want a variety. Because I had asked Ming, like, oh, Brian or Mike couldn't come with you, and he's like, no, the owner of the con wanted to, have as many diversified people as he could, and you double up in one booth, and that kind of shorts it out on another. So,
Right.
like, yeah, I can see that. So,
Yeah. And plus, what they'll have is that those celebrities that did come, will, I mean, they are their agents talk, and if they had a positive experience, they'll have no trouble getting some folks to come back for it next year.
oh yeah, yeah. um, yeah, there's another comic book convention coming up October 6th, actually. It's like I have to monetarily recover in order to get that one going.
Yep.
But that's the one that I was going to have a booth at, possibly. Well, being that their fall Comic Con is a bit smaller than their spring one. Yeah, they didn't have enough booths for everyone, of course. So
Right.
not gonna happen this fall. Maybe in the spring. So we'll
Right.
try again. But
If at first you don't succeed, try
yeah.
try again.
But on the plus side, that means I don't have to build up an inventory, for selling photos, and use that money toward buying comics instead.
There you go.
So, so yeah, um, that's kind of what I've been doing the last couple of months.
I'm not sure
Uh,
what you got going on in your background there, but that's weird.
yeah, the cat's hungry,
Gotcha.
and I'm not feeding him.
All right.
Well,
Do
it's
what you
kind of
gotta do, man.
it's kind of hard to open a can of cat food with one hand.
This
You
is
know,
true.
trying to pull on that ring and pry back that lid, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, understood.
Oh my gosh, even trying to open a frickin' Ziploc bag is frickin' impossible with one hand. Ah,
Yeah. How's driving?
driving is not too bad. Um, thank God I've got automatic transmission, but um,
Better hope winter holds off.
well, I think I'd still be okay. Um,
All right.
I mean,
Well,
I've been driving into work each day,
okay.
one-handed.
On your scooter.
Oh, no, no, no.
How fast does that thing go?
Well, let me put it this way. Because Rachel's dad bought it for me, and he bought it used, so he was test driving it before actually paying for it, and he was saying it ran really smooth at 90.
All right. Well,
So, yeah. And then when he actually drove it down to Pine Island, he was doing 70 on the highway, so.
all right.
So, yeah. I mean, when I was the one afternoon that I actually got to ride the thing, because I had taken a county road west of town, and it's 55 there, and I was doing 50, 55, and yeah, it ran really smooth. So, and oh, just so people know, it did sustain some, you know, scuffs here and there, and yeah, Rachel's dad and brother, they came over the weekend after and kind of took everything apart and glued pieces back together and reassembled, and so, oh my God, cat. Ah, oh,
Cat.
Jesus.
Go, cat, go. All right, this is what I like. The cat is fighting back.
Oh my God. Okay, the opposite end of this room is the litter box, and my God.
Did he just drop a bomb on you?
Yes, he did. Of course, by the time you smell it, he's like totally out of sight. So, uh, oh my God.
All right, man. This is the part of the night where Todd Pless just got gas bombed by his cat.
Oh my God.
We're gonna wish Todd the best. Hope he survives this. You need to go get your gas mask, maybe, or.
Hold on. I think I need to throw some. He's not very good at burying his crap. And I think that's what the issue is, so hold on just a second.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for a commercial.
It's the new Boba Fett Star Wars large-size action figure from Kenner. Darth Vader sold separately.
Capture them alive! I'm the best bounty hunter in the whole galaxy. That's why you got the job.
Boba Fett has a see-through helmet with play rangefinder to locate your objective. You can move his legs, knees, arms, even wrists and elbows. His backpack unit is removable.
You have your mission. Good luck. I don't need luck. I'm the best.
New Boba Fett Star Wars large-size action figure from Kenner. Darth Vader sold separately.
And we're back.
So again, we will use our secret voice since Todd's not present to talk about the fact that a man in his own home just got mercy bombed by his cat using his litter box as a nerve gas. So, for all of you that actually know Todd and live close to Todd, I believe this is something you're going to need to go on and remind him of in the future. Thank you all for playing.
So I go over to the litter box, and there's not even any crap there. So I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, you crapped over in the other part of the room, on the carpet. Wow. I'm like, seriously?
All right, cat, way to go.
I keep waiting for him to go outside sometime and have one of these bald eagles in the area just take him.
You laugh, but his gas bomb will knock the eagle down.
Anyways, where were we?
Well, we had been talking about conventions.
Yeah, we got conventions. Well, one other thing I did last weekend. Went and saw a movie. And it's one of the rare times that I've gone to a movie where I kind of regretted going. So I'll give you a guess on which movie I actually went to see. Any guesses?
Predator.
You didn't happen to see that one too, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Considering it's been out and I've yet to see any rave comments or Facebook posts about everybody go see this movie, I'm guessing I'm just gonna wait and not see the movie.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if I could stomach watching it on home video. I mean, when the Predator was actually fighting, yeah, it was kind of cool. Everything else, oh my gosh, it was so corny and hokey, and it's just, yeah, not good. Not good at all. So, the only other movie that I've gone to that I regret seeing was Batman and Robin. So it's right up there. Yeah. So that movie finally has some company. Um, Otherwise, the last
the only
two,
one I've come closest to was Wing Commander.
never saw it.
Yep, I've never been so angry in a theater in my life. I paid money for this.
Well, at least when I went, it was like matinee prices.
Oh, that's good.
So I don't feel totally cheated.
No, I felt totally cheated for Wing Commander. If I would have given him $1, I'd have still felt cheated for that movie.
Well, there you go. Yeah, otherwise, gosh, I don't think I've gone to any movies like the last couple of months now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been
That's about it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Although the other night,
Oh, I did see that one.
yep, the other night, Tara and I went and saw Smokey and the Bandit
Oh,
because that was in the theaters for a week. And it's amazing how much of that content could not be allowed in a movie produced today. But
yeah.
that just the best parts about that movie. I mean, obviously you got some nostalgia, but Jackie Gleason is freaking hilarious, and it just the laughter at some of that stuff was just old school. I'm dying laughter.
Yeah. Well, I was going to, well, actually, I did look up, because I've got Hulu, I've got Netflix, so I'm trying to find some of these movies. And they did not have, well, let's see, I was looking up mainly Cannonball Run,
Yes, I need to watch that one.
and they did not have Cannonball Run. But they did have Cannonball Run 2.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So I watched that one afternoon and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like Predator bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
Hmm.
It certainly did not catch the magic of the first one, but in the first one you had the doctor, which that alone is enough to really make you worried about life choices. And it's one of those things where the original is good as a standalone. I don't think you need to make a series out of it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's kind of like Smoking the Bandit 3. Now, Smoking the Bandit 2 I enjoyed. Smoking the Bandit 3, again, you push it too far.
I didn't even know there was a 3.
Yep. And if I remember correctly, Burt Reynolds isn't even really in it.
Oh, jeez. Well, that'd be the whole point of going.
Yup.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, that was as far as I got with Burt Reynolds movies. And I'm like, yeah, I need to move on.
Yep. Totally get it.
So I think it was the next day. I ended up watching the entire second season of Iron Fist.
Okay. How'd you like that?
It was actually pretty good. It's an improvement over the first season. I know a lot of people had issues with the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you've got a character that's more sure of himself. You don't have to go through any of the origin story anymore. It is what it is.
Right.
And yeah, it was a decent storyline. So, like, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to check that out.
Of course, I left it open for the season 3. So,
Ah, okay.
and then yeah, I finally got around to going through all of Luke Cage season 2,
Okay.
and that was pretty good too. Otherwise, I'm still chipping away at X-Files. I'm on season 7 now.
Wow.
I'm
Making
like
progress.
more than the halfway point on season 7. So getting there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start watching Game of Thrones again.
Yeah, when Sean came home from North Dakota, yeah, he sat down with Shelby, and I don't know if Savannah was watching it too, but yeah, they went through all the seasons of Game of Thrones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so in the meantime, I was playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, I think, as they were watching it. So, and yeah, it was kind of funny. It's like, oh, I think this is the episode with the wedding. The red wedding.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
And then, yeah, I would kind of, pause where I was at the game, find a safe spot and kind of sit there, and then wheel my chair back and look over into the other room, and just looking at Shelby's reactions and hearing her reactions to, what? No, what?
Oh my god.
That
And the
was-
innocence of youth is dashed on the wall.
I think that was kind of all our reactions when we saw those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those scenes at the end of that one.
Yep. They're hold the door. That's all I can say, man. Hold the door.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. And that one is, simply because you knew from the beginning that had to have been the idea. That, his sacrifice is what caused him to have that whole, problem through his life.
Now, did Martin actually write that as his character?
My understanding is yes.
Okay.
That was one of the things that was established.
Okay.
Now, it's never too late for him to change it in his book because, you gotta write that 17 times before you print it.
Yeah. Well, isn't the show kind of further along than the books are now?
Oh, much further.
Yeah. So, basically, if he's going to write any more books, he'd be filling in the blanks.
Correct.
And is he going to stick to what's been shown? Yeah, we've got how long to wait? Is it next year yet?
The show will resume next year, probably May or June.
Okay. Too long of a wait, but what are you going to do?
Well, the flip side is that it's only going to be like 7 episodes, but it's going to be long episode. Each episode will be a long, almost like its own movie.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see how they handle all that.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, we had that new trailer come out this past week.
Why, Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel. Which, gosh, these people that are so sexist, it just grates on me.
Yep.
That and, Doctor Who, and between the two of them, it's like, come on, let it go, people.
Well, what kills me is you run into the same thing with the Star Wars people. Is that
Oh, yeah.
understand. We can go back to the episode 8 stuff. As a number of people who are let down and disappointed because they had an idea and a vision of what that movie should be. Um, Again, we're guests in these worlds, and somebody else has the creative power, and they're showing the vision as they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can do your part and not participate, not go, not watch, not buy stuff, whatever you're gonna do. But there's no need to get all bent out of shape on this stuff, to go on tirades, to just go overboard on an entertainment piece that didn't fit your agenda.
Right.
So you don't like it, you don't like it. I respect that. There is no need just to go apeshit because it's not following your perceived notion of what some of these characters should have done.
Yeah. You know, some people criticize the whole side story with Finn and Rose in the last movie, and I was totally fine with it. Which brings me up to another point, because there's always someone out there, and they're like, "Oh, that's all SJW crap," and it's like, really, what is wrong with being, for a person for justice, social justice?
Right.
I mean, it's righting a wrong that's out there, and people get all bent out of shape when people try to correct it.
Right.
It's like, what is the issue here with you?
Yep.
You want things screwed up?
Well,
that's what they're used to, I guess. So that's what they want. Heaven forbid something changes.
Yep. Well, and again, with that whole side venture, they're missing the point, which was behind the theme, is that you had the two guys who thought they knew better make a decision and did something, their way, without understanding the big picture, that ended up being more of a problem than if they had just waited and followed their leadership, which happened to be female leadership.
Yeah, and some people just can't deal with that.
Correct. And I understand that the bit on that little Canto bite was it's a little, the Canto bite itself to me was a little bit of a lame world environment, whatever it was, just because it's a big gambling place. Okay, I get what you're trying to do with the whole scenario and what it is. Maybe that would have been a better opportunity to that would have been a good time to involve like Lando, and whether it be something he had going on. They didn't take advantage of that scenario at that time, but there could have been ways they did that, which might have been really intriguing.
Yeah, it sounded like that was the plan, to have Lando there. But as it turned out, it just didn't work. So
right.
Yeah, I think if you would have had Lando there, I think more people would have been happy with that diversion.
Correct. Yep.
But as it was, it's like, I've heard some people say that, you take that part out and it's got no bearing on the movie whatsoever. It's like, well, yeah, it kind of does, because the guy that they did pick up ended up screwing him over, which really made an impact.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, and then, I know I've complained about it before, but people that are like, if, what's her name would have told, the plans to, I'm drawing a blank now.
Plans to Poe.
Yeah. None of this stuff would happen. Well, first of all, you need it for the story. Yeah. Second of all, if you were just demoted for disobeying orders, and you're what was he demoted down to commander?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's only a commander. He's not part of the the ruling body. Why would you tell someone like that? That'd be like someone in some major U.S. operation,
Right.
telling a commander, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do." It's like chain of command does not allow that.
Right.
I'm like, come on, people, you should know that. But
Yeah, exactly.
oh, he's a major character. You should know. No, he's lower rank and he's just been demoted.
Exactly. And we want to at least bring a little bit of, I want to say reality to the fantasy world, but you got to think about that. That is the scenario. Your commanding officers don't have to explain to every junior officer.
Right. So yeah, I'm glad that the complaining has kind of died down a bit.
Well, I'm more disappointed in the fact that Solo took the hit
Yeah.
for it from other complainers, and Solo is a very good movie.
Yep. Actually, mine should be on the way in the mail.
Yeah, I think the release is officially next week.
Yeah. I ordered mine through the Disney Movie Club.
Okay.
And yeah, I got a notice a couple of days ago saying that, oh, it's shipped. So I'm like, all right, just waiting for it to show up in the mailbox then. But yeah, I really like that movie, so I thought they did a decent job, and they stayed true to the character.
Yeah, I mean, even the guy that was playing, young Han Solo, I thought did a great job considering the character, and what he's trying to act against.
Right.
I bought into the character. I think that's what counts.
Yep, me too. And you didn't have to go all Harrison Ford on the acting part. And,
Right.
Go and mumble and hardly hear what he's talking about.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was a decent movie, so I look forward to watching it again when I get it in the mail.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow or Saturday, so I can watch it over the weekend.
Is that when you're supposed to get it?
I don't know. I don't think their online tracking system is totally functional right now. Because I can see that it's shipped, and then if you go and click on track order, it's like, oh, sorry, we can't track right now. It's like, okay. Because at the same time I ordered that one, I ordered Avengers Infinity War.
Uh-huh.
And see, I did this back about a month ago.
Okay.
So Infinity War came fairly quick because, of course, that had already been released.
Right.
And so yeah, on the web page, it also shows that as a separate order to track, and I go and click on tracking there, and it still tells me that, sorry, unable to track at this time. I'm like, seriously?
Well, if they're shipping it together.
No, they shipped them separate.
Okay.
Because I've had Infinity War for 3 weeks now. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
In which case, then they're not linking up to tracking. So good luck.
Yeah. Or maybe they're holding back and it'll actually ship or be shipped to me on Tuesday when everyone else gets it.
Yeah, well, either that or it'll ship on Monday, so that way the earliest you would get it would be Tuesday.
Yeah, something like that. Ah, well. In any case, I'll be watching it again soon.
All right.
Otherwise, yeah, let's see. We've got Venom coming up in 2 weeks, which I'm not quite sure about this one.
Yeah, I'm torn. It's got potential.
I'll probably
my
still
hope,
go see it, but
I'm hoping not make him into, the kind of like a, what do you call it, like an anti-hero where he's all violent and bloody, but really he's doing it for the greater good type of thing. Because I remember when Venom first, was introduced, he was a very, very bad character. So
yeah.
I guess we'll have to see. I'll give it a shot. I mean, it should be kind of cool cinematically wise. But again, I guess we don't know until we see it.
That reminds me, I still got to get a battery into this thing. It's my
I'm not sure where you're going with that, Todd.
my
Okay.
my Venom. I bought a Venom action figure
Oh.
back in what 1990, 91,
Okay.
and he came with a talking backpack
Ooh.
with 3 buttons, and one of them was like a hissing sound. Another one was "Die, Spider-Man,"
Oh. Nice.
and another one was "I want to eat your brains."
All right. See, now that's the Venom I'm expecting.
Yeah, and that's why this Venom figure got pulled off the shelves. So yeah, I happened to be with Matt when the thing came out, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta buy this because it's been discontinued because of the sayings that the backpack has." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So I went and picked one up. But yeah, I've got to get some batteries for this thing and see if it still works.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I might actually have some of those batteries here somewhere.
And now Todd
Probably
knows
not in my
battery.
desk. I'd probably have to go upstairs and find some.
That might require effort.
Yeah, and that's too much effort for.
Send a child. Pick a child, send a child.
Yeah. Well. I guess I don't have too much else going on here, so.
Well, it's actually getting to that point where I need to start probably getting ready for bed anyway, so.
Yeah, it's what, 11:22 out there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yep. It's about time for me to get to bed too. So.
Yeah, you gotta rest that arm.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about calling tomorrow and saying, yeah, do I need to go to the cast room to get this thing taken off and checked out? Because it kind of feels like it's over the last 2-3 days. It feels like it's been swelling up.
Ooh.
But
Yeah, I
yet,
did get that checked out.
I can see the tip of my thumb, and it's it's still pinkish and stuff. It's not blue or purple or anything like that.
Yeah,
So.
but if you're feeling that kind of effect on it, you want somebody to take a look.
Yeah. Well, it was doing better today. And then, like right before I left from work, I was kind of moving around doing some stuff and just, moving my hand around, I think, caused it some irritation. And then it started feeling like it was blowing up in there again. So.
Yeah. Let's crack it open and take a look.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if I told you, but I got 3 pins in there.
Oh no, you forgot to mention that part. That's
Yeah. Which, yeah, that makes it even worse.
Well, yeah, because now you might have an infection going on.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
see, they were going to take this thing off on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And check for infection, make sure the pins were all okay yet and all that on Tuesday. And then rewrap it for another 2 weeks, and then at the end of those 2 weeks, I'd be done with it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I can make it till Tuesday.
Yeah. I'd go on the internet and check it out, buddy.
Yeah. At least if I go, I'm going during the day because, yeah, my emergency department visit initially when this all happened was very disappointing. So.
Like disappointing as in cost you plenty of coin, or the service was of such that you're like, I'm gonna die.
Let's just say that I got there at 7 p.m. and I left there at 9:30 a.m. the next day. Yeah, that's like 14 and a half hours.
Yeah, I can tell you where you went wrong. Is you didn't feign chest pains.
Hey, actually, I did have some chest pain at that point.
Why didn't you, dude? You have to
Well,
speak up.
they took X-rays and the X-rays came back negative, so they're like. However, I don't know if I really trust any of their X-rays from that night now because, yeah, the X-rays that they took of my hand, they're like, nope, no fracture. They wrapped it anyways, like in a partial cast, just to until swelling went down and stuff. Went back for a 3-week checkup, re-X-rayed, and my provider was like, I want someone from orthopedic surgery to take a look at this. And yeah, they talked and they're like, yeah, send him over to the cast room. Get over to the cast room, and the physician assistant was looking at the original X-rays from August 6th. And he's like, yep, we've got a fracture right there. I'm like, seriously? The radiologist that took this, or that, looked at it and determined what was going on with it, said no fracture. And this physician assistant pointed it out, like, right away when he saw it. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's good quality medical care right there.
So, yeah, I've made a complaint, and we'll see what happens with my bill here.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. But, yeah, if they had gotten it right the first time, I would be out of this thing already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yes. So, anything more on your end?
No, but I think I am good for this Flamecast.
All right. Well, I guess that about does it then. My voice is going to go out on me, too.
Yeah. It was starting to get a little bit scratchy there towards the end.
I think it was kind of like that the whole way.
Nah, it was fine most of the way.
That's why I needed this Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Ba-boom.
Available at your local liquor store.
Woohoo.
Nines, I expect some endorsement money now.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Flamecast for this month. Or 2 months. Whatever.
Whatever time it was.
Yeah. So, this is Todd Platz.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
And that is a wrap. Where's the off button?